The Ronald McDonald CareMobile is a state-of-the-art vehicle providing free medical and dental care to children who otherwise would go without. Delivering hope on wheels, the CareMobile creates everyday miracles in communities across the country. The power of community is the theme of our next story, as a small town pulls together to help a young girl and her family. What no one expected was the miracle they would receive in return. Nestled in the picturesque Colorado Rockies, the town of Crested Butte is a small, tightly knit community with a spirit of giving that touched the lives of Gary and Cindy Prechter just when they needed it most.
This town really is special. When something bad happens in town, there's no shortage of people that will come to the rescue.
They just get together and they get to work and they get it done, whatever it is that they need to do.
The Prechters' life in Crested Butte had been picture perfect until their daughter Holly started second grade and a small bump on her wrist began to grow.
What is this bump in here like this?
We took her to a specialist and they had done a biopsy. We were told at that very night that Holly had cancer.
As a mother, I can't imagine anything worse than having your child's life be threatened. And I can't imagine what life would be if she wasn't here in our lives. How you feeling, sweetie? Getting sleepy yet?
Holly was suffering from Ewing's sarcoma, a bone cancer that targets children, and the Prechters immediately began the weekly 4-hour drive to a hospital in Colorado Springs where Holly was subjected to aggressive chemotherapy treatments.
The chemo made me feel 10 million times worse. It's so harsh and horrible. You wish you could redo your life over and not have that chemo or any cancer in you.
I knew I was going to have to leave work because it was going to be a 24-hour thing with Holly and that we were going to need financial assistance.
Fortunately, the Prechters were able to stay at the local Ronald McDonald House under the care of house manager Lynn Hale.
We wanted to make the Prechters feel as much at home as possible.
Lynn made me feel at home, and probably my parents too. It just felt really good to be able to be somewhere like home.
That gave us a huge comfort factor, having the Ronald McDonald House in Colorado Springs and having Lynn to watch over us.
But Lynn wasn't the only one watching over Holly. The community of Crested Butte was also rallying round her cause. Especially concerned were Holly's second grade classmates, including her friend, Emma Vosberg.
When they found out that it was cancer, it was shocking to all of us because we didn't really know what that meant or what cancer was in second grade.
But they did know that they wanted to help Holly. And with the aid of their teacher, Kathy Sporsich, they came up with a plan.
Please donate money for our friend Holly Prechter.
We decided to collect 1 million pennies. I knew that it was going to take a long, long time to get 1 million pennies. So I thought, well, let's just collect coins. So that's what we did.
They started collecting Clorox bottles and painting them pink and putting eyes and ears and tails on them. And they took the piggies to the shops around town. And then every couple of weeks, the kids would go around, empty the piggies, bring it back to this classroom, sort it, count it.
Over the next 8 months, the piggy banks raised thousands of dollars for Holly's treatment.
The support of the community just floored us. Having that money coming in every month was a huge part of our success. And that kind of money just doesn't grow on trees.
Holly's condition continued to improve, and touched by the goodwill of her classmates and community, she came up with an idea to spread some goodwill of her own.
I thought I could make a couple of cards and sell them at the school craft fair around Christmas time and give all the money to kids with cancer.
To think that she could look beyond herself at that point and to think of others, it totally took me by surprise.
Whenever she had an idea for a card, she would take the time, whether it was at the chemo clinic. We always had a bag with all her art supplies that we would take wherever we went, because you never knew when the inspiration was going to come for another card.
The Prechters had 6 of Holly's designs professionally printed to sell at the school craft fair. And to their amazement, the cards sold like wildfire.
We sold 3,000 cards less than 24 hours. When I found out, I thought that was really cool, and I'm glad that they all sold out.
And I thought that instead of sending the proceeds of the cards to a national organization, that we could do something to help the kids and the families in all of Gunnison County.
The result is Holly's Helping Hands, a charitable foundation formed by the Prechters to help give back to the community that gave so much to them. And a year after Holly's cancer went into remission, their help would be desperately needed by the family of 13-year-old Michaela Berglund, who had been diagnosed with ovarian cancer.
I went into my first chemo like, oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm not gonna get sick. I'm gonna keep my hair. And then after the day after, I was like, oh, this is so much harder than I thought it would be.
Michaela's mother, Jane Berglund, was grateful for the emotional and financial support the Prechters gave her family.
We're very independent people, and it's hard to be on the receiving end sometimes. We really needed the help because we couldn't leave our daughter alone.
We tried to really stress upon Jane, we can help you through Holly's Helping Hands. This is exactly what it was set up for. Please don't let pride get in the way, because we were helped so much, and it helps us to heal if we can hand this check over to you.
And just as the Prechters were there for the Berglunds, Holly was there for Michaela.
As much as you feel like everybody's there for you, nobody really can understand what you've gone through unless they've gone through it.
It made me feel really good to be able to help Michaela out, and that she knows what I went through, and I know what she went through.
In March of 2000, Michaela finished her chemo treatments and joined Holly as more than just a cancer survivor. This past Christmas, Holly's Helping Hands featured 6 new cards, 3 designed by Holly and another 3 by Michaela.
Going, Holly. I like designing the cards because it's fun to be creative, and I know that the money that we raise from the cards is going to help somebody who is in the same situation as me.
If it's possible to create a miracle by opening your heart to others, Holly and Michaela are the living proof.
It's wonderful to watch Holly grow up to be an adult, because to me, her heart's only going to get bigger.
It feels good to have your classmates help you, and it feels good to be able to help other people in the same way. I think I have some of the best friends in the entire world.
Well, that's our show for now. I'd like to thank the Stanford Ronald McDonald House and my pal, Ronald, for taking time out of his busy schedule to be with us. And a special thank you to all of the families who shared their remarkable stories. It's our hope that whenever you need one, you'll find a McMiracle in your life, too. Until next time, I'm Richard Thomas. Goodbye.